Now, moving on to a different chapter, and again, this is general background material. We're going to take a look at Chapter 3, Topic 9, which deals with square roots. So a little bit of vocabulary. You want to include this in your notes. The objectives: understand the concept of square roots and real numbers. Learn how to use a calculator, that'll be critical here, to find square roots. Now, in this table, I thought it would be interesting just to look at all of these numbers that are under the radical sign. What is under the radical sign is called the radicand. And notice that all of these are perfect squares. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, and so on and so forth. Now, you may know a few of these, but others, when they get the bigger numbers, you may not recognize them. But I don't know, is this something you'd like to put into your notes? Now, notice the numbers go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That if we multiply any of these numbers out here by themselves, 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 10 is 100. That is, if we square these, we get the radicands here. And putting the radical sign over the radicand, that is, take the square root of it. What two numbers exactly the same times each other gives you the 4? Well, 2 times 2, 3 times 3. So again, these are the perfect squares. So again, you can use your previous table. Square root of 100 is 10. Now you want to have at least some of these because these could be quiz questions. Square root of 169, did you remember? It's 13. Now here you need to be careful because the square root of 121 is 11, but notice there's a negative sign out in front. So then you apply that negative sign. So this will be a negative 11. Remember, you can pause at any time. Now, again, this is going to be negative, and the square root of 361 is 19, so you get a negative 19. Now, for any real number A and any non-negative real number B, A is the square root of B if A squared equals B. So that's just putting into some formal formulas here what we've just gone over. Now, another way to indicate this is that if we have the radical sign, the radicand, that's all in the parentheses, and that's raised to the second power, or we are squaring this, it just becomes the radicand. So the square root of b squared is just b. So what would be the square root of 81 squared? Remember, we said in this situation, if what's under the radical sign is squared, it just becomes the radicand. So 81. The square root of 25, the quantity squared, is just going to be 25. The square root of 3, the quantity squared, is 3. Now, throughout our next lesson, you're going to need to use a calculator to figure out square root. So how do you do it? Well, most calculators have the radical sign, so you would put in the radical sign, then hit 2, then hit enter. That's what it's describing here. The enter is the equal sign, and then it gets this. And if they want it to the nearest thousands, that would be 3 decimal places. You would go to the 4th decimal place, and if this were 5 or more in the 4th decimal place, you would drop all of that and then just make the 4 here a 5. But since it's less than 5, a 2, we're just going to drop all of this, and our square root of 2 rounded to 3 decimal places would be 1.414. And that sounds like a good quiz question for me. And there's the answer. Again, try this now. If you have a calculator handy, you're going to put the radical sign, 18, and then hit enter. Enter is the equal sign, and you get this. And again, they want to round it to the nearest thousands. So we go here, 1, 2, 3 places. We look now at the 4th place is a 6. So since it's 5 or more, we'll drop all of this, and we add 1 to the 2, making the 3rd decimal place a 3, because the 4th decimal place was 5 or more. And we get this as an answer. And that completes our lesson.